bad. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house. You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the South Asia Elite Community Series for Fragnation in partnership with Ubisoft. As we are here once again for Rainbow Six Siege X, folks, it is now truly the lower bracket finals that me, myself, of course, and Madness and Bullet are here to cast and take you through. Folks, it is a fantastic night. You're going to be hearing a lot of firecrackers popping. You're going to be hearing a lot of shots popping off as well. And if yesterday's match is any indicator, probably a lot of kill streaks as well. Wouldn't that be right, Bullet?
Yes, sir. I mean, when it comes down to the lower bracket runs, we have all seen that, one particular team trying their level best to just kind of overrun everybody. And in this case, to be very honestly speaking, it is going to be the side of Hasib Warriors. Now, to just let me just clear the air out. As we all know, in the upper bracket finale, Hasib Warriors on stream defeated the side of RUE, but there was some rules and regulations set in place by the admins, by the entire management team, and there was the rules getting enforced as we did saw the update coming in on the Fragnation's Instagram story, and that is the reason why we are able to see Hasib Warriors playing in the lower bracket. And yes, they have exceptionally played really well on their adaptation game. Talking about the side of RUE, yes, they are that one team which have been, again, in the similar way, have been defeated by Hasib Warriors itself. So it is going to be kind of like a semi-rematch that we're going to see before we set things aside or set things clear for our tomorrow's grand finale. But before I say a little bit more about how the map picks are there, what are your thoughts, Madness? Because again, you will be alongside Blackjack for the first map here on the casting desk.
Just put that pin in that for now. Let's just talk about the prize pool, because that's a 3 lakh INR prize pool, first place with the 1 lakh that is just one step away from going for. And this is a significant prize jump because we are in the lower bracket finals, basically second and third place that are fighting. It's a 20k INR jump just for winning today's match at these teams, and more importantly, will be securing yourselves for that APAC qualifier that we will be talking about later. And already the teams have secured their 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th place and got that acquired money for themselves. So anybody who was in the playoffs has walked away with money, unfortunately not with the trophy or with that APAC slot. And then talking about that APAC slot, we're coming back to the tournament format over here. Qualifiers 1, 7 to 14th of September. Qualifier 2, September 28th to 5th of October. 4 teams from both qualifiers, 8 teams made it off in the playoffs. Only 3 remain from the playoffs that began on the 6th. We are almost at the ultimate. We're on the penultimate day actually over here. And whichever team wins will be part of the top 2 teams that will qualify for that APAC Cup Asia qualifier alongside TU over here, Blackjack.
Oh, yes. So, folks, just for context, Team RUE have already gotten one of the 2 spots since they are in the grand finals, right? They have pretty much secured themselves either top spot, the winner of the tournament, or runner-up, second place. As we go into the brackets here, of course, we get the chance to talk about the journey that Hasib Warriors has had. Of course, winning a very good game against Andromeda Gaming, then going up against Team RUE, and despite, how things actually happened due to some difficulties in the back end, Hasib Warriors had to be put down into the lower brackets, but they still beat Dead Esports. They still beat Won't Stop Peaking, and now they fight Team RUE once again. And I'll tell you what, that match from 2 weeks ago, that certainly wasn't exactly close, even though, some rounds did get really, really far down the wire. Tonight, Team RUE has their work cut out for them. They are facing what is essentially a David versus Goliath match, or in other words, they're trying to climb Mount Everest. Will they be successful? Will, on tonight, pretty much a couple nights away from the Festival of Lights, will they light up their own spot on the South Asia Elite Community Series, and of course, get into the APAC qualifiers? Well, we'll have to wait and find out, of course, since it's a best of 3. 3 maps, maybe, possibly, it could be 2, that will be played. And we'll get into the first one in just a moment here. But the thing that we certainly do need to talk about, again, this is going to be emphasized a lot tonight, so get ready to hear it, folks. Tonight's game is supremely important because either Hasib Warriors, as is almost tradition at this point, gets into the wider APAC like they have before. When they used to be mercenaries, and even after they changed their names and had a couple of members picked up, they've still managed it. They've still been up at the top echelon of South Asian play. And now here tonight, as we have a look at the maps, they're looking to do that once again. It's Clubhouse, Lair, and Cafe. I'll tell you what, both Clubhouse and Lair are certainly strong maps for the Hasib Warriors, aren't they, Bullet?
I mean, definitely. And I mean, when it comes down to Hasib Warriors' play style on both of the maps getting selected, whether it's a RUE's pick on Clubhouse or the Lair getting picked up from the side of Hasib, we have seen how I guess one of the players on the upper bracket as well, and one of the matches in the bracket as well, Hasib Warriors, I guess, against Andromeda, did play against the side of Andromeda on the map of Clubhouse, and we have seen them playing here and every now and then playing on the map of Clubhouse, and they played really well. Of course, in the couple of rounds, they tend to lose some of the grip when it comes down to some of the areas of the map getting really, really isolated from their opponent. But today, again, it's going to be a very important game. This is the lower bracket finale, folks, and I wish them, both the teams, really, really good luck. But for now, folks, take it away. Blackjack and Madness, go for it.
Heading into this series, this is the lower bracket finals, and in general, this is to decide which team will join in the APAC qualifiers as well. But talking about map number 1, Clubhouse, the bans have come in. It's going to be a Maverick Ace, pretty standard, as well as there's Amin K. Nothing to be shocked about whatsoever from them. It's about what Brazil will pick for their first round heading into this. We've talked about before, Hasib Warriors did defeat RUE on the big screen, on the stream, but unfortunately, due to the MOS files, due to the reasoning that the admins have given, they unfortunately were knocked down. But they have fought their way back up for this revenge matchup over here against RUE, and they look to be having a bone to pick with RUE, especially the RUE's gone for attack over here, right? So we will see the defense, and the Mira was left open through the banning phase over here, Blackjack. So we're going to see some Black Mirrors in play, and Taha is going to be going back to the solos. We've seen this man play this a couple of times already.
Yeah, no, that Mira being left in play is certainly a decision. The Cade ban, actually, I think they read it right that Hasib Warriors were going to try and start on basement, and that's why they went for that Cade ban to start things off. That way, hatches remain kind of breakable, right? Because with the Cade in play, it's really hard, even with the MPs, to time it right, because you never know if someone's going to go for a C4 check or impact check, and so on and so forth. But That leaves the Mira in play. That leaves the Mute, the Valkyrie, all of these operators that Hasib Warriors are certainly incredibly good with in the running. And that's exactly what they have to be afraid of here and now. Of course, it's just the first round, plenty of time yet to be used, and plenty of rounds yet to be played. Dirt Tunnel doesn't seem to have been reinforced. Interesting decision there from the Hasib Warriors. But then again, when you're playing with a castle and a mute on this map of Clubhouse, you tend to make decisions that may seem a little weird initially, but there you have the runner from Solus all the way at the top floor. A little bit of excitement right there. They're all now going to be hunting for her, hunting for Taha specifically, and that is going to start things off here. There we go. The calls go out from the Dokkaebi, but as I was saying, right, the castle mute strat, usually accompanied by a Mozzie, but in this case it's Solus to be brought in, means that there's a very hard presence on top floor and first floor, right? That's where a lot of the castle barricades are going to get used. That's where a fair bit of mute jammers are going to get used. And they're watching the hatches and kind of playing top down. And that's why you see Team RUE pivoting right now, because they know that they can't let these defenders waste their time, and they need to pick them off quickly.
Yeah, but talking about that, Tony Place has already entered the building over here. Support from Sakib, who is rappelling outside. Unfortunately, before we didn't get to see Sakib play because he was subbed out in the last match that RU played for. But this time he will be coming in with full force. Yet again, another call goes out, but no space is being taken from Dirt. Is where Cryptic Fate shall be entering. Electric's already up there, secured the space. This is a basement take. It looks like everybody and their mother as well is coming in from Dirt over here. 4 men are in this tunnel as they try to make their reports. There's a castle in front of them. They're going to have to break that open, and that's exactly where the secondary hard breach of the Grim shall be used. The Candela already primed in the hands of Sakib. He switches it out at the last second. Now we'll throw another one as well. He enters the site. He doesn't even look left or right. He's still in. He's not dead. Finally, he gets taken down. Hasib gets another as well. Baz gets the kill. Cryptic Fate gets one trade kill back onto Baz, but they're walking into sight like they own it over here. They're trying for any kind of pick that they can go for, but they have the man disadvantage. Cryptic Fate is going for the plant. The smoke cover is there as well. Now the diffuser has gone down. It's planted. 43 seconds for Hasib Warriors to play with. Venom going to strike fast onto Fatar, equalizing numbers as Cryptic Fate gets the advantage for them with the kill onto Hasib. Only Zedux and Taha left to try and struggle to get something. Taha gets one onto Venom, makes it a 2 versus 2. 28 seconds left for them to play with all angles being rotated around, trying to see which angle to get. The speak comes into him. Cryptic Fake at Zedux. Zedux was not even looking at him. It's a triple kill for him. The quadra denied with Taha getting the kill, getting himself the double. It's a 1 versus 1. The diffuser plan, but Taha cannot make it over here at all. Electric doesn't even know where the man is. Taha's just saving his KD over here. He's hiding in Dirt. And no, Taha comes in at the last second, gets the kill Electric, but the time is not on his side, unfortunately. And the 4-man entry from Dirt actually works out for RUE.
That right there is a good case of just droning your way through the map, realizing what it is that your opponents are doing, and then finding that weak spot to execute upon. That's exactly what Team RUE did. They saw the run up from the Solus early on. They saw the fact that, hey, wait a minute, we've got a mute above. We've got Solus above. There's probably like Legion, not Legion, but like a couple other people above, right? So who's in sight? So they had somebody, whoever was in drone through the site, whoever was in Dirt, I should say, drone through the site, and they saw that there's only one, and it was Baz playing Mira, right, in the site. He only got help later on because I believe it was either Zedux or Fatar who managed to make their way back. Not Fatar. Fatar on the mute was coming down main stairs. But he got some help from one of the other players who managed to get into sight in time when the plant started. But even then, some might say that that was too little too late, because we saw what happened, right? They got the clear, they got boxes, and they got the plant off despite being in a 3v4. And that's purely because Hasib Warriors were playing a site retake against someone like Grim. And once again, it's a case for why Grim in those situations is so incredibly oppressive. Of course, there is the caveat of having to set up that situation, but Venom, when you get him going, when you get him in that position where he can really make a meal out of a site, oh, he's going to make a 5-star, 6-way, just absolute treat. That's exactly what he did. So that all said, food allegories notwithstanding, we're going to move on. It's the site of second floor CCTV, and this is something Hasib Warriors does really well, which is switching things up the moment they realize that, hey, that strat didn't really work for us. So let's go along to a different part of the map and see what we can pull off. And that's exactly what they've done as we now move into... Actually, wait a minute. It's not CCTV. My bad. It is gym bedroom on the second floor that we're going into.
Gym and bedrooms, we go with the Osa shields being placed down, and that is also what I like about City Warriors. They like to pivot a lot. They keep RUE guessing about how it goes on. Last time they were spread out a bit too thin, trying to protect the two outside. That's why the basement take from Dirt was so successful on the side of RUE. But there are players lined up. Zedux is not going to fall for the same stick twice. He gets the kill on Electric, as well as Benam that has been left on the floor injured. There's someone who has to pick up the Grim to get him back into this round, but Hasib Warriors already with a nice commanding lead. They've broken open the wall into CCTV, but nobody's walking in. Benam, the man who has fallen down, finally he's going to get picked up by Sakib. Bring him back, albeit with very less HP next to his name. And now the Osa shield is broken out. Cryptic Fate at that same window that we were looking against the kill onto Taha, equalizing the numbers in round number 2 of map 1 over. He's looking for more, but there's nobody close by that he's looking at exactly. Benham's also entered as well. Low on HP, he should be the sacrificial lamb trying to go in, but he does have the green shard, he does have the hive minds to clear some space as well, get some locations revealed. But in the meantime, Tony Place gets the kill onto Fatar. That's going to be the mute also disabled and taken out of the round. The Executor recharge to open another rotation over here. Zedux gets the trade kill onto Tony Plays, but Sakib trades it back instantly onto Zedux as well. The man advantage now with RUE as they march over to gym and bedroom. There's a man outside on the catwalk as well that we have to keep in track. If him making a decision, making a play over here. See, one piece gets a kill onto Seki, bringing the man advantage to reminder. Benham is low on HP, but Benham with the low HP still gets the kill onto Hasib with the trade. It's a 2 versus 1. Baz is all that stands for Hasib Warriors between them and the defeat in round number 2. Baz is standing strong with the kill onto Cryptic Fate. Now he only has to deal with Benham, the one with the low HP. The pre-fires come in. The pre-fires are successful in getting the kill, and Hasib Warriors mount back with this defense of theirs, bringing the score to 1-1.
That was shaky. That was shaky from Hasib Warriors, but not the worst, I will certainly say, as that it did come down ultimately to the 1v2, and that's beautifully played right there from Baz on the Mira. However, you got to realize that it still went down all the way, right? The 1v2 had to happen. Zedux doing a lot of good work in the early round, getting those 2 kills, getting the down on the Grim, really putting a stop to Team RUE's early initial planning, whatever it was. However, they ended up not being able to capitalize too much on it in the mid-round. We saw the side of Hasib Warriors lose bodies, getting picked off one by one like fish in a barrel almost. And then it again comes back to what I've said before, which is that Hasib Warriors, they seem to almost need a couple rounds to wake up when they're playing a big tournament game like this, right? It happened yesterday against Won't Stop Peeking, where on map 1, which I do believe was Lair, it was Won't Stop Peeking to start off on a 2-0, and it looked like Hasib Warriors were just not there yet, right? They weren't really awake, they weren't really doing too much. Their movements felt a little bit like too cold, almost like cold spectator hands. However, they picked it back up in style, and they finished the half on a 3-3, and then eventually went on to win a 7-4 on that map of Lair. So now, you look at how this first round has gone, which again, RUE took the first round, and the second round got really close with Hasib Warriors just barely pulling through thanks to, once again, the 1v2. This time, of course, we got a Bandit in play alongside a Mute, but we got the EMPs coming in and the Fuse as well. I like this because this will more than likely force the Bandit away. Never mind, he tricks one, he tricks both. Beautifully done by Fathar. It doesn't matter if you get EMPs. Where's your Capitao? Where's the Firebolts? It did not come in on time, and that is why that first set of breach attempts have been tricked out.
That's the exothermic one gone off the board from the side of Cryptic Fate. But Tony Plays is looking to make a play with this Monty Shield instead. And they're going to also have to pivot from the side of RUE about how it goes. But Fathar doing an amazing job over here. But construction side is going to get opened up by Venom trying to create quality as well. But the shield is right now just outside his central subroof. Enters into construction. He has taken the presence for himself. He has the diffuser. Cryptic Fate just around the corner, as well as Electric jumping in just behind the Monty Shield. And there's the clash that they will see in front of them. The hive minds coming out one after another. The glass shield has been isolated from the clash, from the hunt. The shotgun comes in from Hasib. He shoots one shotgun shell but does not connect. The castle barricade should be opening up the secondary heartbeat charge of the Grim. That's exactly what's going to be happening over there. So now the window's open. There's a clash shield to play with. This clash, Taha has to be aware of so many angles. Fathar is the one who's going to strike first in this round. Get the first blood on the kill on Benam. Cryptic is the trade onto Hasib instead. So it's still a 4 versus 4. 1 minute left on the clock for the side of RUE to break the deadlock that Hasib Warriors have created over here, Black.
Absolutely. Baz coming up red stairs to try and support his teammate a little bit by the cash wall here onto red. And of course, meanwhile, the castle barricade is going to be broken by the C4 with the double! Fathar comes out of left field, and that's going to be the metal chair coming in. Xenox fires in with 2 of his own, takes the thermite down, and then jumps out for the cleanup. There's the confidence, there's the stride, there's the spin from Hasib Warriors. That's exactly what they were looking for right there. And I'll tell you what a way to open the dying seconds of the round with a double C4. I'm pretty sure the hype itself of that moment, Hasib Warriors were in full swing. After that, Team RUE getting taken quite to town in that last moment right there. But then again, it's a C4 play. You don't always expect those, right? And so I can kind of excuse it because the majority of the round for Team RUE looked relatively good. I will still say maybe the Montaigne should have tried a little bit harder trying to get up to Garage, trying to take Catwalk, because that is usually Monty's best part of the map, right? Just when you're on the stairs, you have your back against the wall. You can just turn to face the entirety of Garage and almost no one can shoot you if you've got someone watching at the door, right? And usually that's a good push to do because that gives you a control of CCTV. And if your breachers can take control of construction, boom, double-sided push that can really turn the defenders into a really uncomfortable pincushion, right? Unfortunately, Team RUE were not able to accomplish that. I think they really wanted that front breach. It didn't happen. They decided, all right, let's go construction. Let's not worry about this bandit. Unfortunately, again, their coordination didn't really fall through the way that they were hoping. Now, we've had the final bans for the first half. It's Clash and Thermite to be taken off the board. Thermite makes sense. Already, Ace has been banned along with Maverick, so the only breacher left is Hibana and secondary heartbeat charges from maybe Striker or Grim, while on the other side, we have the Clash ban. And I mean, after last round, yeah, I am not at all surprised. But wait a minute, Drone has seen the run out. Taha didn't see the drone, I think, and that's unfortunate as Hasib Warriors are going to start off on the wrong foot, losing the Solus early here this round.
Yeah, that's the nerf of the Solus coming into effect, where he can't see the drone speed around like that. He doesn't know that he was on vision. Venom was just waiting, itching for Taha to feed. As soon as Taha pings Venom, Venom puts him down into the dirt. And even with all this coming in, Bass is still elected to go for that bandit. But talking about the bandit last round, Fathar, truly the MVP over there. But hold that thought, we already have it down on the roof. Sakib has been knocked away. The C4 comes in from Fathar again. He doesn't even get the knocked guy. He gets Venom instead. Oh my god, it's going disastrous on the side of RUE. They're going to have to look to pick up Sakib, who's crawled his way to a space that he thinks is safe enough. But this is instant denial from the side of Hasib Warriors. Now Cryptic Phase is like, what else can I do? Let's try and open up a hatch to kitchen. That's what he's going to be looking for. But 2F seems to be securely under the control of Hasib Warriors with the lurks, with people just roaming around, no problem whatsoever. Zedux is even switched over to the Denari. We haven't even seen it coming into place as of yet. And see, with that mirror on band, it's going to be picking that up for himself. But it's hard for RUE even to enter the building, honestly, for themselves. They had so much backlash trying to enter this part. They have entered Logi, right? And it's not going to be much better right now because Fatar gets a double onto Sekib as well. The Ying that was not looking that healthy gets knocked away. Oh, the window's opening up. There's enough shots being fired through the window. He's even opening up the hatch so he can jump down later, but he's being pinched from Electric from behind. Fatar created quite a nuisance for the side of RUE, but it's finally been dealt with. At the end of the day, it's 1 minute left on the clock with 3 versus 3 over here, Blackjack.
The main problem with this is that they have spent the better part of 2 minutes just getting the roamers out. And by roamers, I mean Fatar. Because Taha, well, we saw the the unfortunate results of that attempted spawn peek early on in the round, and now Hasib Warriors, that's the only reason they're in an equalized state and not a body count advantage. Fatar yet again doing quite literally so much good work by being so good with the C4 tosses. But it looks like it's a drop on Church Ash, and it's got to be Zedux to find a good kill to start things off. Cryptic Fate falls. Tony finds one, but Zedux with the second now. And it's all down to Electric, the last one standing in a 1v2. Make that a 1v1. He gets Zedux off the board, but does he know where this player is? He does, but Bash swings and swings better, getting Electric, stopping the clutch. And once again, Hasib Warriors will take a beautiful round. All things considered, there were a few mistakes like we've pointed out, but regardless of those, it is a fantastic round played by them. Team RUE are pretty much now chasing Hasib Warriors' coattails in the 1-3 disadvantage.
The 1-3 disadvantage, they are definitely chasing the coattails of RUE. We only successful in the first round, which was basement, and they were denied it the second time around. The first time they had gone 4-man through dirt, this time it wasn't there. They tried to make their approach from 2F, but instantly denied. But Rathar's, or this man is doing humongous work for Hasib Warriors in this defensive half for them, right? As a support player, we usually see him in the attack, but over here, he's coming numbers, denies the breach over in round number 4. Round number 5 comes in, the C4 just lands on the roof, gets the kill onto Venom as well, and there was Sekib who was already knocked down. So unfortunately for him, couldn't make much impact. We're going back to gym and bedroom right here, so let's see if any changes will be coming out. The mirror has been forsaken from the side of Hasib Warriors. It is not banned, but they're choosing not to play it. A side like this makes to differ of what kind of changes they're going to be bringing up. But Baz going to be bringing the castle. We have Taha on his Solace that he does like to make the rounds with. I don't think he's going to get caught off the same way, but I'm expecting yet again another kind of spawn peek from him, because this is the kind of player that Taha is. He likes to be that aggressive, and his team always supports him in these kind of endeavors, even though sometimes it might be even on the side of inting. But now with Electric having the finger boost could be crucial in changing the outcome of round number 5 for them. But RUE, unfortunately, on their map pick, not a very strong start at all over here, Blackjack.
Not at all. And it really makes you think that they picked this map to take Hasib Warriors in, especially after they got the 7-3 yesterday against Won't Stop Peaking. Team RUE's bans on the maps were, of course, Bang and Nighthaven Labs, which makes sense, while Hasib Warriors had banned Skyscraper and Chalet at that point, but you still did have the option to maybe go to Border, well, not Border, maybe go to Consulate, or maybe even start off on Cafe instead. But Cafe ended up being decided, and we ended up going to Clubhouse, which left Lair wide open for the picking here, as we have the drop down from one of these defenders. That's Taha, who will bait these defenders, and Fatar with the C4. This man is unstoppable. He really should be playing in the NBA with the way that he's been going about this. He gets the double. Can he get a triple right now? Fatar, he's on a roll. Hasib takes him to damage as the push comes up red. Tony finds Zedux on the other side. Shots fired. Electric is now low on health. Hasib doesn't know how close he came to just taking another one off the board at the moment. But Fatar is the man of the hour. He is the one that they have to watch out for, as him just being in cash room has really once again put a dent in everything for this attacking team. Shots fired. Fatar will now know, hey, wait a minute, they were on the stairs this entire time. But there we go, beautifully done. They're going to reinforce off the logistics wall just to give themselves that extra bit of room to breathe, because guess what? They don't need to deal with that. They've got 2 kills. They've got the body advantage. Yes, Edex went down, and that's a little bit of a shame, but it's not like they're going to worry too much about it. There we go. Pipe's been burst. That's going to flame it off for just a little bit of time. But even with the construction take, you can see RUE is very much all over the place. They very much are trying and struggling to find their footing here. Shots are fired out the window. A little bit of shot taken back. Hasib is low, and he will opt to run back to safer waters for now. There's a little bit more walls have been opened here. Baz is ready for the shots. Fatar, oh, you just know his trigger finger is itching. There's the sledge doing what he can, but Baz starts off with 1, gets taken down. Second takes the fire back. However, there is another on that hallway. Red hallway is not going to be easy to take, not at all. Hasib gets Tony, and it's a 1v3 now for Second, who's stuck outside of the bedroom, and Fatar picks him back-to-back from the long angle on the door of logistics. He's just tapping away, and he finally gets the answer for the Nox he was putting down. It is a 4-1 lead. Hasib Warriors looking, I would really say, clean at the moment.
They are looking clean, and even then some. And Fatar, in 3 rounds, has got 4 kills just from C4s. This man is a utility merchant, and even after that, he's getting more kills with a gun. He got a triple in this as well. 2 from his MP7, and then 1 from the C4 as well to start it off. So this man is playing out of his mind, making sure Hasib Warriors is making it look easy with the help of Fatar and the rest of Go as well over here. We're going back to CCTV, and unfortunately RUE can't seem to find an answer. RUE can't seem to find an entry into the building the way this is working out for them. They're going to be building back another shield in the hand of Tony Place yet again on the Monty. But this is seeming a bit desperate. Fatar yet again on the bandit. Let's see if this bandit tricking will work out the same way it did the first time the defense was done over here by the side of Hasib Warriors. But in the meantime, Taha has not made much of a switch from the Solace. He's sticking to tried and tested methods. So this is the pick for him. Siki is going to be switching over from the sledge to the Capitao, so maybe the fires can come in. The fuse even last time got denied by the first bandit tricking of Fatar. This time it edges better for them, but the way it's looking, Hasib Warriors in the fast track for hitting that grand finals, for getting the revenge against RUE, from technically being knocked down due to technical difficulties to this lower bracket, now meeting them again in the same bracket that they have been knocked down to in the lower bracket finals to edge their way to get that spot alongside TU for that APAC qualifiers. That's exactly what they shall be aiming to do. And let's see if the breach gets opened over here this time or not.
Here we go. It's yet again the same attempt. Will the breach happen? Will it be denied? Let's find out. We've got the... oh, they actually have a Thatcher for this time around as well. They really are doubling down. But yeah, no, Bandit's not going to give up. Fatar, he knows his worth. He's got multiple batteries placed. He's waiting, itching to place a third. And Sekib is the only one with the second. Oh no, actually Fuse does have some. But there we go. And the first one gets tricked. And the second one gets tricked. It is getting harder and harder by the second to do anything against this Bandit. There we go. And will the Fuse charge be tricked out? They're not even going to try. Fatar really is a utility merchant. You had it right there, Madness, as it is impossible to get away from this man and his gadgets. Cryptic Fate goes down because Taha was speaking the catwalk right there. And that's your Thatcher, who was supposed to support the Montaigne. Well, he's going to be supporting nobody 6 feet under. That's what he's going to be doing. As right now, Taha has full dominion over Garage. Fatar has full dominion over the breach. And Baz is going to take down the Capitao as well. Sekib falls. Hasib gets taken down. That's 1 because this Grim is in construction. However, that's a C4. Was that Fatar C4? Please tell me. Yeah, he used it. Okay, so he has missed 1. Finally, Baz is on the floor bleeding out. Venom falls on the other side as Baz will take that kill. And Fatar cleans up on Electric. It is all down to the Montaigne.
Nice
and
shot.
oh dear me, Taha had so much time to switch weapon, aim, get the headshot as well. While the Montaigne, unfortunately, pretty much floundered outside of the door of Garage. 5-1, Madness. 5-1, dear viewer, as we have ourselves what started off as a 1-1, and it was a little bit shaky on both ends. Well, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Hasib Warriors, they take those 2 rounds, they wake up, and once they wake up, ooh boy, you've kicked the hornet's nest, my friend.
Yeah, winning the first round might even be the opposite of what RU wants to do, because you've woken up the beast that is Hasib, or you've woken up the beast that is Fatar. Utility merchant, he must be the best, because the way he denied the breach coming in, even with the Thatcher, it prevented everything. Made sure that the side of RU have to try and make an entry through the garage side instead, and that's where Taha strikes as well, right? The Monty could barely enter in. He had time to change to his gun, kill the Monty as well. This is a very good commanding lead for the side of Hasib Warriors. In the map pick, that is, guys, if you don't know, it's the map pick of RUE. And unfortunately for them, it doesn't seem like it the way this is going. But finally, we do have the half switch coming in. We're going to be having RUE on the defensive half. So let's see if they have something else up their sleeve. And heading to basement, I expect, given that the Pulse pick is there, the Fenrir pick is there, there's so many trap plays as well with the Capcom, with the Thorns, and Zakib will be taking up the role that Taha was fulfilling for so long during Hasib Warriors event. He will be picking up the Solace. And this is the most Solace I have seen in a hot minute over here, Blackjack.
I mean, it kind of does make sense.
Yeah,
Though.
she was buffed. That's why.
I was gonna get to that. Thank you so much. But yeah, no, Sekib bringing in the Solus much like Taha did in the first half, as that is purely because of the couple of buffs she received, not only to her main gadget, of course, which is excuse me, which is the electrical detecting, smart helmet that she wears. Again, I don't remember the name of it. It's one of the only few gadgets that I don't remember the name of. So forgive me for that. But with that said, she also received her impacts back. She used to have them a while ago, but then they got taken away in some balancing changes. They have been given back to her. Now, with that said, Sekib is playing Solus with the beepers, right? With the secondary, the movement sensor. So that, unfortunately, will not be more impacts from the Solus right there. However, we will have to see just how much of that spec IR sensor comes into play here and now for the side of these defenders. Team RUE have their work cut out for them, given that they have to pretty much get 5 straight rounds, and that's just to equalize right now. Shots fired. That is the Solus yet again. Beepers go off. Shots fired. Second manages to find the first kill. Beautifully so. And that's going to be Taha taken care of. The Grim is gone.
With the wallbang kill over there, gets the kill out of Taha. Tony Place gets actually killed by Zedax in the meantime, but the Sledge is marching forward. He's going behind the Monty. Baz is clearing every single angle in front of him. Oh my god, look at Sekib. Sekib spots the man out in front of him, but doesn't get much damage before he has to make his own reposition. And look who it is, it's Baz, making his way here on the bottom side. The C4 was chucked at him, but Baz very smartly juked it, went to the left side instead. But this is very fast progress from the side of RUE. They've taken complete 2F control, they've taken complete 1F control as well, and now they have to start working themselves over here, but they don't have any essentially hard reaches in terms of overage, but you have the secondary hard reach in the pocket of Baz, and that's what's going to be used to open up the kitchen hatch as well. But mind you, Cryptic Fig is below, but he doesn't have a C4 to throw, so he can't do much damage. Maybe a shotgun shell between the woodwork could be the only answer he's looking for. He's looking at the hatch very cautiously, but he won't be aiming at anything. And the blue hatch shall finally be opened by Baz with his last secondary hard reach as well. 1 minute left for the side of RU to defend the onslaught that is Hasib Warriors in map number 1 over here. And with Baz trying to make the entry, it could be hard for them. Oh, the Thorn kill!
No.
But Thar not reacting in time to the utility plays by Tony Plays long before. Unfortunately, will give up his life for that. Meantime, Xerox gets another kill onto Sekib as well. The Solus was already at half HP with the kill at that point. It should be looking good for him. Pulse is looking with the heartbeat sensor, trying to catch anything else. But 30 seconds left for Hasib Warriors. I think it's going to be a 3-man drop from this hatch. But you have 1 man just waiting at stairs. Xerox is there to cut off the crossfire, to cut off the rotation coming in from the side of RUE. The drop should be coming down. Baz is already on the basement floor. He's even going for the plant. He has the shield to block him, but Electric gets the kill onto Zeduk. Baz is eating a lot of shots in the feed. Venom gets the kill onto him as well. Only Hasib left, and they don't know where Hasib is. Hasib is above them. Hasib taking a lot of shots, but won't end up dying, but will end up giving over the round to RUE, who, except for the first round, this is their first round victory.
After 5 rounds, Team RUE bring it back and win their second round. And certainly took a while, but you know what they say, better late than never. Now we have ourselves, of course, another defender round that we're going to be going straight into for Team RUE. Second for Gym Bedroom is the side of choice. And I will say, I like the fact that they pretty much took a leaf out of Hasib Warriors' book, which was to go for that upstairs roam, which was to be as annoying as possible, right? And they picked one of the operators for that too, the Pulse, who could just stay down below on the bottom, right, in basement, and give so much intel, even on first floor, because most of the defenders or most of the roam presence was on the second floor. That's what Hasib Warriors were chasing, and the Pulse was giving them all the intel in the world. So beautiful coordination from them, and beautiful, just overall pick in terms of their utility and their manpower allocation. Now we're going to need to see more of that going into this next round. And Gym Bedroom, of course, the mirror is in play as is to be expected. Excuse me right there. And those mirror windows placed in places that you would expect as well. Construction side and, of course, excuse me right there, bathroom side being used up for the mirror. But at the same time, even if the mirror is in play, you still gotta, land your shots, you still gotta get your kills. That's what Hasib Warriors will be trying to deny for them. I like the fact that the Thorn is back. We did see Fatar have an unfortunate moment of self-sacrifice where he was like, you know what, I'm gonna throw this, I probably have enough time, I'm gonna throw my Selma, and I'm gonna get the breach done, and I'll have time to run away from them. Unfortunately, not to be. As instead he fell for the cause. Now, breach is done on CC wall. That's going to take care of that entry point. Montaigne will probably try to get in there, get some space going. Fatar is going to go around, get the hatch open. Good time on all of this from Hasib Warriors, as you would expect, because again, all of this is pretty much preliminary stuff. But there you go, the drones have gone in. They now know what to expect. And with Seke playing behind a meat jammer and that foothold that the Montaigne has seen, going into that part of the map, well, that's something to watch out for. But also what is to watch out for is the fact that someone is on garage storage, first floor, and that is going to be the Oryx. The Oryx being the counterpick to the Montaigne. I'm interested to see what it is that maybe, just maybe, Electric might have in store for us.
Might have in store for it. Might wait and watch. It's going to Jim Electric gets the kill onto Fatar, the main man on the side of Hasib Warriors on the defense, but an attack, it seems he's falling a bit too shallow for the likes of it. Oh, we have Baz ready with the ADS on the pistol, but the man is no longer there, is not aware from the side of Hasib Warriors. The man on the staircase has made his way down bottom, and Taha waiting at the window over here as well. Sorry, it's Zedux who's standing over there. The nade is thrown out, the peak comes in, and Baz with the pistol claims the kill, equalizing numbers, getting the kill onto Z, even a nade even thrown onto the staircase in case anybody is still there wondering, but the rotation has already made from the side of RUE, and still Baz is waiting with the pistol, with the ADS. They have to start making progress because there's only a minute left for them to play, make that 50 seconds, and it's a 4 versus 4 that they find themselves in with. The Oryx is still alive, can be, like just talk about, we see that interaction between him and the Shield of just running into it, punting him down to the ground and then getting the kill, but for now, Hasib Warriors have slowed it down considerably slow. There's only 30 seconds left to play with. It doesn't seem like they are with that kind of ferocity of trying to end up on the side. A C4 in his face, no reaction from Xenox as Venom plays the kill, but Hasib gets another encrypted fake. Baz gets one of the 20 plays in an instant. Hasib Warriors now with the man advantage of the C4 from Venom. And now they're trying to make their progress over. Venom gets the kill onto the C4 as well. It's only Baz and Taha left in a 2v2 versus Electric and Venom. At 7 seconds left for them to play with a nice angle on the staircase. Can't be anticipated, but it is. Baz gets the kill onto Electric. The plant is going down finally, and the defender is below. Venom had gone for a rotation. He's going to be coming back up the stairs, but Baz is ready and waiting with the ADS on the pistol. Takes him with his head clean off the shoulder to put Hasib Warriors on map point, and he's even writing sit in the chat over here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh dear, all right. Whoa, emotions running high, but I will say this much, it's Baz's turn to get a kill streak for Hasib Warriors, as that was, I do believe, the 4K right there from the Monty player. Beautifully done, as well as Baz is certainly picking himself up, as it was Fatar in the defense rounds with the constant C4 kills and some beautiful headshots. Now it is Baz's turn, going 11-3 so far in 8 rounds. This is the 9th, of course, but until this round ends, his stats haven't exactly happened yet. But with that said, folks, that is certainly quite the performance so far from the side of that player. And on the other side, of course, Team RUE, they've got a couple of performances of their own that have been pretty good. Electric has been pretty much their front gunner in a lot of situations. Venom as well, Cryptic Fate coming in. But at the same time, it just hasn't been enough. They haven't been able to counter Hasib Warriors enough. And that's kind of their biggest issue here, is that despite picking operators like Oryx, despite picking up someone like, say, a Fenrir, they... of course, have been playing the Mira a lot as well. It just hasn't worked out for them, because when Hasib Warriors really starts doing their site execute, if they have anything above 2 players, 9 times out of 10, they will still make it happen. And even when it's a 2v4, 2v5 situation, as we saw yesterday, that's still not enough to stop them, right? So it is always a case of be on your guard against Hasib Warriors, because they certainly will not give you a chance if you give them one at all. Now, okay, I just realized, Taha is playing a Maru. Something tells me that we're probably going to see a very quick play here. Maybe a quick play. Well, it's not a plant because Taha doesn't have the diffuser, and it was with Fatar who just dropped it off on the balcony. Interesting place to put the diffuser right there. But still, you know, I think they might be going for some sort of surprise play here, Madness.
It might be a surprise play, it might be Taha coming in from the floorboard from beneath, but Cryptic Fake, nice angle on top of the bunk bed, as well on top of the mattress, gets the kill onto Hasib, who was not even looking at that angle, wasn't anticipating this was going to be there, and Electric comes up, gets a kill onto Zizek. This might be RUE trying to find some resurgence in the match. Electric gets another with a kill onto Taha as well. That's a diffuser drop over there in the bathroom on 1F, and only Baz and Fatar to try and make an entrance. And Fatar is going to be walking his way in over there. Baz is still on the rooftop. He's very far from the action. Fatar is looking the wrong direction, and instantly Electric picks up on that. Electric going for his 3rd in this round. He's just going to finish off Fatar, and that's exactly what is Electric with 3 kills in the round. A C4 thrown over from that, you know, the small cubby hole that they can throw it from. Baz shoots it out of the air like a clip pigeon, but there's not much to be done. He's in a 1v5, and an ace is on the books if he wants to close it out for Hasib Warriors over here, but RUE is not going to make it easy whatsoever. They're still playing cautious. The only Electric should be honestly hunting here to try and get his quarter, try and get some more pep in his step, try and get some more confidence with these kind of kills that he's picking up. It might be a bit too late in map 1, but I can help out in map number 2. Electric's trying to get the quarter. Electric with the swing, Baz with the denial, Baz with a slight PM with the shooting on the bodies, and that will be his demise as Tony Place comes in, gets the refrag, gets RUE to 3 rounds across their name.
3 rounds. They are slowly climbing their way back here, as it seems to be a little bit more even in the second half than it was in the first. RUE has taken 2 rounds for themselves, making it 3 total. And now we have our final bans for map number 1. Hasib Warriors were definitely probably looking to close it out in a 7-2, make a statement here in this best of 3, but that has been denied as we have the Blitz and the Fenrir banned. Interesting decision to go for the Blitz, as we really haven't seen Blitz at all from the side of Hasib Warriors. It has only been the Montaigne and no one else. And, well, since you've banned Blitz, I think you've pretty much given them the go-ahead that, hey, we're expecting you to play the more aggressive shields, so let's see what you've got. And, well, I'll tell you what, Taha's going to show you exactly what he's got, because he's moved away from the Montaigne. Well, it was Baz playing the Montaigne, my apologies, but the Montaigne has been put away as Taha has decided to bring in the Blackbeard. And this is going to be something that Team RUE will definitely have to kind of read into, as they're still expecting a shield play, no doubt. But which shield will it be? Well, they've got one ban. Now they have to deal with the other one.
Ambush set. Stay clear.
Madness?
Yes, at that point, yes, my bad. Sorry about that. Had a bit of an overview, but heading back into the matchup, we have the shield coming out from the side of Baz right over here, right? So we're gonna see him trying to get some. We did see the side of Hasib where he's trying to get a bit tricky with it. We had the Amaru pick last round with them trying to jump into the side and try to do. They're shut down quite successfully by the side of Electric on that Fender with that MP7. Then we have Sakib back again on the Oryx. This is a basement take, and this is not the side RU wants to be fighting this out because the Sea Warriors are looking to make an entrance, especially with the shield coming in the hands of Baz. Zedux even has his IQ to even spot out any of these black camps, the black eyes from the side of Venom as well. And Tony plays, his thorns have been proving a bit detrimental in the sense of that last time we had someone from a Sea Warriors walk down the stairs, ends up getting caught by it. I think it was Fathar, if I'm not mistaken, getting caught out there. But with them only having, you know, the Hibana to try and open the hatch, you don't want being an ace or a thermite. It's kind of a take. But a couple of free shots by Baz onto the door frame, not gonna catch out RUE's defender who was hiding over there. But the floorboards have been opened up quite successfully by Hasib's Ram coming over here. There's a default camp that they're even going to be looking to shoot if they can get the right angle onto it. But for now, it's still settled over. It's still become a stalemate. A drone has sneaked its way onto site, and I don't think Cryptic's going to allow that to live for far too long. But there's a lot of debris being flown every single direction. All the floorboards are going to be opened up, and now it seems like dirt is on the mind of a Sea Warriors. They're going to be making the entrance. It's going to be Blackbeard to lead the way heading down this dirt tunnel, try and get some more. Let's see, Taha's still waiting for someone to honestly peek from the top of the stairs over there. Oh, the run up! Cryptic Fig just barely missing out on an opportunity to maybe get a kill for himself, maybe get the first blood on the round, but it's a minute 15 and nobody has died so far over here.
Honestly, that's the biggest accomplishment so far in this entire round. The fact that we're down to the last 60 almost, and no one, not a single soul, has not only been, you know, not taken out, but also no one's taking any damage. I am so very surprised right now. Here we have the Kawan Hives going out. It looks like they might be trying to set up for a plant or at least something. But at the same time, there's been no movement on it so far. I wonder where the black is. I wonder where they're trying to go to. They're still so afraid of someone from top floor, understandably so. But you got to do something, and there we go. Zetas is going to start things off by finding Electric. Massive drop right there. And they're going to try and get a couple more potentially before they get into this plant drop here. Again, you got to be careful of boxes, and there you go. That's why Sekib is still on top floor. No one's been able to clear him out. I don't think they've really even tried to go for the clear. They're just going to need to have somebody on the hatch. Yeah, they're just going to need to have somebody up there trying to hold it down, the hatch that is, and go from that point onwards. There we go. Boz is going to get taken down. That's unfortunate right there. The Blackbeard falls. The Turn Place gets taken down by Taha. Venom finds the C4, and that's a huge one. Defuse has been dropped. 3 seconds remaining. Will they be able to get something going? I don't think so. They will not. And the time will tick away as the, unfortunately, despite their best attempts, I see Warriors certainly kind of falling apart right there. As I don't know if they... I'm not sure. They either couldn't find Sekib in time, or they just decided not to really aggress on him. Not really sure what the idea was, as they all just kind of sat there on first floor for the longest time, first floor in dirt, and let an entire minute pass. And after that, they decided, hey, let's just go down the hatch one by one. What could possibly go wrong? And well, a lot went wrong. I'll tell you what. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot went wrong. They dropped into the crosses of their opponents, and yeah, not clearing Sekib on second floor is going to be a huge task to try and deal with. And it looks like a Seaverse trying to make the final sprint across the finish line, at least for map number 1, are stuttering quite a bit. They're trying to get a bit overzealous, I think, so in their approaches to these last couple of rounds. And they think that they've already won the map. I think in their heads, that's the kind of thing that they're visualizing. And unfortunately for them, RUE is still in this competition. RUE is definitely fighting back by the likes of Electric, by the likes of Venom, by the likes of Sekib as well, keeping such a nuisance of the 2F. But now comes to the point where you have to defend the 2 side. Even if you bunker as the defender, it's much easier to defend basement, but 2F is a different kind of beast, given also that no hard breacher has been banned out by the side of RUE, almost an exact opposite strategy that Hasib Warriors were trying to implement during their own defensive path. So now you have the ace that you have to deal with. Let's see how well Venom Can Bandrick, can he live up to the legend that is Fatar? The way that Fatar denied almost every single thing coming out for them. But Hasib himself will be opening up holes in the garage. But the Maverick will prevent a lot of this bandit tricking that Venom was maybe hoping or looking to go for. And that's what we're talking about with these breachers not getting banned. The side of RUE, they had banned all 3 breachers from themselves. They had only left the one open, but no such thing for the side of RUE doing the defense. They're going to allow Hasib Warriors to walk away with the Maverick. That's how he's going to be opening up the holes. He's trying to Maverick trick it. They're trying to get holes so they can get a kill through. Maybe there's a guy sitting outside of the barricaded wall, but that should not be there for Taha. Taha's even brought in the sense to create some of these holographic walls to try and walk into side. But for now, we're going to slow down the progress. The Nade is going to be used to get rid of the bandit charges on the wall. Oh, they don't. But Taha gets the kill onto Sekip. The bait play works. Sekip, the warden who was on catwalk, unfortunately will be going down, and the breach will be successful from the side of Hasib Warriors.
That right there is the big play of the round so far, right? Because you really need that. Shotgun's out, Cryptic Fate, that is brave to just go for the peak, and Taha's gonna fall because of it. That's your sense taken care of, and no doubt someone who was integral to the plan strategy. Shots fired from down below, and that's going to be your Valkyrie going on the Rome Electric on bottom floor. Again, someone that needs to be watched. They need a drone down there because Electric's just been sitting here on blue stairs, garage storage, just waiting for a C4 to go his way. There's Hasib who's going to get taken down, and we have the Valkyrie coming in. That's a trade right there, who found Baz, but got found for his trouble. Barbara is going to get taken down. There is somebody top red they got to be careful of right now, but they haven't been able to clear out the site. Zedex, here we go, coming up, finds Tony, plays, has a moment, but manages to stabilize. Venom is down on the ground right now. Shotgun's coming out by the breach. That's going to do a lot of damage to Fatar. Wait, Zedex is down. When did that happen? It doesn't matter. Fatar gets the right amount of distance and manages to get the kill. Oh, there was a frost trap right on the bend of catwalk as well. The IQ didn't expect that, but ultimately it did not matter, as despite a few stutters, despite a few potholes in the road, the side of Hasib Warriors have secured themselves map number 1 in a 7-4 scoreline. They wanted it to be 7-2. Let's be very real here. They wanted it to be 7-2, but they will have to settle for a 7-4 as they have won Team RUE's map pick against them, putting them 1-0 up on the map count.
And that's more importantly talking about you are winning the map pick of RUE. But with that being, let's put a pin in that because we will be joined by Bullet coming back as our analyst over here, as he has thoughts about this. Because like I said, I think the side of Hasib Warriors could have closed it out as a 7-2, but unfortunately for them, they did prolong it a bit further. But at the end result was the same over here, Bullet. And what else do you think about this map?
Well, to be frankly speaking, there was not so much to analyze apart from round number 6, round number 8, and what went exactly in round number 10. Because apart from that, it was the side of Hasib Warriors, especially in their side of defense, popping off like crazy. Kills coming off left, right, and center, bodies hitting dropped off the floor left, right, and center, apart from that. Now, the main twist in the tale is that definitely Hasib, in their attacking play, they were very, very unclear, especially after their third round of their attack. They were very unclear. They just wanted to shut this down quickly with a 7-1 scoreline, with a 7-2 scoreline as soon as possible. And that was, my friend, the chance for the side of RUE to kind of like capitalize on all the lapses coming in from the side of Hasib Warriors. And there were some. That's why we are in a scoreline of 7-2-4. But again, comes down to the case that some of the players, the individual plays happening in from players like Bas, players like Taha, players like Fatar, when it comes down from the side of Hasib Warriors. Those individual plays are kind of like the difference maker, in my opinion, in this particular map. Now, again, comes down to the part that this was RUE's own map pick, and given the fact that Hasib Warriors have played a lot of Clubhouse, to be frankly speaking, whether it's the upper bracket matches that they went against side of Andromeda and some of the teams, and what we saw yesterday, what they did against the side of Won't Stop Peaking on the map of Clubhouse as well. So it was given the fact that Hasib Warriors have a really good overall strategy and kind of like an over experience when it comes down to a map of Clubhouse. So we all know what kind of ride are we going to witness when it comes down to their own map pick, which is of course going to be the side of Lair.
definitely on that sort. But yeah, this is like you're talking about map pick of RUE, and if RUE can't come up on top of it, it's going to be much harder heading into layer map number 2. And this is scoreline still looks nice from their side in the sense that they have enough for themselves, that they are looking to be making maybe an impact. But a 6-2 is something that is worse than a 6-4. You still end up losing, but at least you lose with a bit of decorum, with you still trying to climb back, with you still maybe warming. But like I said, it takes time for Hasib Warriors to warm up, but it only took them one round this time. After one round, it was almost complete domination heading the defense. Fatar was a huge part of it. 4 C4 kills in 3 rounds is nothing to scoff out. The utility coming out from the man, then the bandit tricking coming out as well. I think Fatar honestly has to be one of the MVPs of map number 1 for the side of Hasib Warriors over here, Blackjack.
Yeah, no, I gotta just, big moments here from both Zedex and Fatar. Fatar with those C4s, man. I'll tell you what, 2-1 on entry. I mean, there's 3 players on the side of Hasib Warriors who are 2 kills on entry. Zedex, Taha, and Fatar, they shared that entry kill role this time around. And yeah, I gotta say, it really did work out for them, right? Because Baz is 12-6 at the same time, Zedex 11-7, Fatar 11-7, and of course Taha and Hasib kind of bringing in the rear with their individual plays. Hasib taking a more back foot in this particular game, playing a more support role, being on cams, being the guy with the more defensive, more passive utilities than someone like Fatar, who was just tossing C4s like he was giving out candy on Halloween. On the other side, you have, of course, Team RUE, whose performances were hit or miss. Sekib certainly didn't have a great time per se, but Electric certainly did. So did Venom. Cryptic as well, bringing himself up in the second half, going 8-8. And Tony, of course, being kind of the mid pillar for that team, kind of going towards the tail end of the game. But with that said, folks, map number 1 has been finished. It was a 7-4 and a closer game than I think Hasib Warriors would have wanted. But now they're going into their map pick, a map that we have seen them dominate time and time again. It's going to be Lair. But before that, we're going to be taking a really tiny, really short break. Stay tuned.
You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to the South Asia Elite Community Series here at Fragnation in partnership with Ubisoft for Rainbow Six Ajax. We're your hosts, Bullet, Madness, and Blackjack, back once again as the Triple Desk has returned for what could potentially be this final map for the lower bracket final here between Hasib Warriors and Team RUE. And I gotta say, map 1 was certainly quite the match. However, map 2, which is Lair, now that promises to be a game and a half, doesn't it, Madness?
Oh, it definitely does, but I think most people would kind of agree it seems a bit Hasib Warriors-sided heading into it, because if you can't do much in your own mapping, you head into the opponent team's mapping, the team that has played it just yesterday as well, right? So this is not something that you are going to be that well prepared for, because Hasib Warriors is putting on a lot of aggression coming. This is exactly what I was talking about. Last pick was, or pick of Clubhouse was RUEs. Now we're going to Lair, where Hasib Warriors does run pretty dominant from what we have seen pretty up before that. And even then, even if RUE somehow manages to win out, we're still going to go to a map 3, which is Cafe, where Hasib Warriors is still really, really good. We have, I think we've seen them do a 4v5 also on this map. I don't remember which team it was that did the 4v5, but it was on Cafe. But at the end of the day, we're still just going to be on Lair heading into this. But that's been it from me, at least, because for this I'll be the analyst. But take it over here, Bullet and Blackjack.
Thank you so much for your insights, Madness. And as we all know, folks, the second map is going to be Lair Blackjack. Now, when it comes down to the map of Lair, my opinions are very, very straightforward. Lair is a very defense-favored map, given the fact that this map is one of the biggest map that we have seen in terms of the size. I'm talking about, folks, in terms of the size, in terms of the floor areas as well. The entire first floor and the entire second floor is vertically playable from both ends. Also, we know the fact that a basement side is so much approachable from every other side, but also comes down to the fact that it is still a very, very kind of like a pain in the minds of the attackers to where exactly some of the defenders can come to flank for. But for now, folks, we have discussion aside. Our first set of bans comes in as we do have the Mira and Azami getting taken on. Mira's Black Mirror, getting banned makes a whole lot of sense, especially on a map like Lair. But I'm not really sure of how Azami can be such a big trouble for the side of RUE, because we have seen Hasib Warriors play on Solace. So I was kind of hoping, because this is such a big map, Spec I was sensing can be abused in so many ways, whether you have Tubarao with the company of Tubarao and Blizz, especially take care of those common or even like uncommon hard breach charges. But I was expecting a Solace ban, but nonetheless, from the side of Hasib Warriors, a pretty usual ban, Maverick and the Aqua Thermal charges from the side of Solace getting taken care of.
Yeah, it's really just going to be a case of how they kind of counter the utility picks happening left and right? The Mira ban, I think, like we said, it is very understandable. Mira, as seen in Clubhouse, is really, really strong, right? In most situations in this game. And similarly, Solus, after her buffs, has certainly risen to the ranks quite a bit, as we now have ourselves an operator who could potentially turn the tides maybe not that strong, but she's certainly strong enough to give herself a boost in the situations where she really needs to, in terms of her overall utility and place in the team. Now, with that said, shots are going to be fired. We have a multiple door peeks happening right now, but the pings were there, and Sek was going to find Taha, who had gone for an early peek on that door. Unfortunately, he's going to get taken down for his trouble. We have the shotgun just holding close to the other side on the top floor exterior roof, so to speak, or shooting range terrace. But even then, you've taken one body away from the side of the Hasib Warriors, and that in and of itself is huge. Now, okay, interesting. I wasn't expecting Bass to be playing the shotgun M870 on the Thorn right there. However, bringing it in for that extra bit of breakage is certainly a nice decision now that I think about it. Bandit, of course, doing as usual, being the electric little gremlin that he is. But with a body down, especially that being the Wamai, who would have been really useful late round because of his utility denial capabilities, it's certainly going to hurt the side of Hasib Warriors a little bit here at the minute 40 now.
I'm not a big fan of the second floor side, which is going to be the case of this particular round, but we do have the first pick getting taken from the side of Sheikh, which is quite unexpected. But there we go, shotgun swings by, Hasib goes down. no more mute C-Force is going to be the play. And that was a big one. He did have that idea about where Hasib was at. He was just making sure that, he lands at the short puck. He was just trying to time it out on the right spot. On the other hand, Dreamer is going to track this side of Denari on the communication tower. I'm pretty sure that Ella has got the call. Denari has the information from side of that mark first. Even though Electro will be taken out, he just gets the kill from the side of Protect.
Oh dear.
Not very good for the side of Sleep. Fatar is going to left out in 1v3, 1v5, and that is going to be a very flawless round coming up from the side of none other than our own RUE, which is quite the unexpected of how we have seen Hasib Warriors domination from their defense on the last map. So this is quite the start, which RUE definitely needed to bounce back on map number 2.
Well, talk about making a statement right here. As Team RUE, they certainly have themselves quite the overall performance in this matchup, folks. At least to start, right? It's only round number 1. I gotta calm down sometimes. But still, it's a great way to start things off for them, as they have certainly shown that they are really like present. And why I say present is because, like, in map number 1, for a really long time, RUE were falling behind fast. They were falling behind hard. And it wasn't until the second half that they really started to kind of shine. And it was, of course, their attack half, all things considered, right? And here, on the first round of attack for themselves, Team RUE are also starting off on what one would say the best foot possible, with a flawless round to get themselves going. And now, here we have the basement pick coming in from Hasib Warriors. They're immediately going to pivot. They're bringing out the Deimos, looks like, from Electric. And Blitz is going to be put on the bench because Venom has decided, you know what? I want the Grim. I want to flush these defenders out of their positions. I want to really gain all the information I can, gain all the intel I can, and go from there. You've got the Brava as well, so those mute jammers, those Valkyrie cameras, those secondary deployable cameras as well, the beepers, all of that technology is not safe either. And that's something to keep in mind for the side of the Hasib Warriors now that we are pretty much into round number 2.
Now, when you say the word technology, the very first meaning right now on it these days, but for obvious reason I can say that, but it kind of like this is around my mind. But there we go, folks. We do see the secondary hardware charges getting used up, as we do see the angles getting open. But again, I'm not really sure why. I mean, we did saw Electric went ahead and grabbed 3 kills with 2 of the shotgun kills from the side of the same pump shotty that Deimos has. Same with we do see the English SAS operators. But at the moment, equipping a shotgun right on the basement floor defense is something that I'm not really able to understand what he's trying to do. But there we go. This is what I was trying to speak. But there will be the trade happening from the South Tony, just as he was right present behind with the Brava. We do have the approach getting traded out for the moment, as we do see the basement. Oh, good shot coming in from the side of Vaz. Electric goes down. This was something that you would definitely expect from a guy like Buzz. We have seen him popping off up against the side of One Stop taking. He's quite got the kills in the map number 1 as well. A young engagement getting played out. A seat takes the side of Cryptic. What a way to just watch out the crossfires, especially on the lockers and the yellow stairs, as we do see. Now this is a point where RUE can actually collapse, because Tony, I'm not really sure about, because there's a huge, kind of like the area difference. One guy is approaching from another end, one guy is approaching from the western side. So both of these players are still very far apart from each other. 1 minute left on the clock, 4 versus 2. I don't see this going into the favor of RUE for round number 2 particularly.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. It's gonna be really difficult, as we do have a few more shots fired, but there's Fatar coming around with the Goyo yet again. Manages to find his kill. And Tony, he did find Fatar in return, but immediately got caught lacking by the SMG. It was a double peek and a beautifully coordinated one at that, as we now have ourselves the rounds equalized early on, the 1-1, much like it was in Clubhouse. Although this time, round 2 for Hasib Warriors, I will say, looked a lot cleaner than it did before. As now, well, let's move on to round 3. It's Master Office and our 6th room to, get on underway. Kind of going back to that second floor site for Hasib Warriors, because they know that first floor is probably going to be the hardest to defend, and they need to get the second floor kind of done and dusted before that. And this time around, they're going to be bringing in a little bit more of the area denial in that Tachanka. I like this because you've got the ability to make more rotates and more punch holes and lines of sight and all that you want with, of course, this DP27. But at the same time, you have a really good secondary SMG like the Bearing 9. Of course, it's no SMG 11, but it certainly gets the job done, and that's exactly what they need right now. The last time they came here, first round, it wasn't exactly all, sunshine and rainbows for them. So this time around, they certainly will need to up their game as we move into the third round proper.
Yep. At this point of time, it is, the side of Sea Warriors slowly and steadily getting their grip back on the entire matchup. But also for the side of RUE, we do have the Benam guy picking up the Blitz. When you have the second floor site, a Monty and Blackbeard is someone which I will definitely pick up if I'm on to the side of RUE, if I'm playing over there. But Benam's approach can be also kind of like quite possible, as they have decided they have Brava to take care of the secondary utilities and the main primary utilities, especially the electronic gadgets, because they have black eye cams, they have the mute jammers as well, and then you have, of course, Zeta's toxic deck and the Buzz Shumika's launcher, which is of course where Brava drones cannot do much about it. Benam does know for a fact that trying to just approach from the mezzanine hallway. He does know not exactly the position, but those Tumiga launchers, projectiles direction does give away somewhat an idea where these two guys could be trying to hold off from. The breach trick is happening also from the side of Fatar, which does mean for the fact that 3 guys from the side of these stairs will push down from the northern side, and the other 2 guys will try to approach from the opposite direction.
Certainly a lot of room taken over here on the mezzanine. As there we go, Electric's going to start things off for the round. Finds Taha. That's yet again a really impactful first kill, as that Valkyrie and those MPXs are no longer in play. However, the black eye cameras are all out there right now, and they of course will be used for catching all of the intel possible. Electric seeing a bit of damage, but he still gets a second. That's Fatar as well. 2 down, and that's going to give the Blitz ample room to just go for a push, but no, I don't know if he wasn't looking or if he didn't notice where Cedex was. His legs were exposed, and he's going to get taken down for his trouble. That's Venom down, and the Shielder, who was probably going to be the frontliner in this push, has just been denied. Electric taking a ton of damage right now, trying to find Cedex. He's going to go down instead. The Shumikas are the ones to confirm the kill. Double to Baz right now, as that will be the equalizer. 3v3. Zedex is tremendously low on health, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. Shumikas are out, and you can see Baz is really doing double duty in terms of protecting his placement here, as we will have a little bit of a lull in the action. 35 seconds and less remain, and they have to get in here, and it's now or never for the side of the attack. And RUE are going to swing into that control room side. And here's the flashbangs coming in. Hasib has to quickly reposition. Shots fired. Once again, Cryptic Fate taking a ton of damage.
Oh.
He takes more. It's Bass to take one more. Will he get yet another? He does! And Zedex comes around and finds Cryptic Fate. That's going to be beautifully done from the side of Hasib Warriors on the defense right here, as they will completely turn the tides after those first couple of kills. They said, you know what? We can pull off the 3v4 regardless, and they did so in style, as we are now 2-1 to Hasib Warriors going into the 4th round and the final bans for the first half.
Man, I would still, give a lot of the credit to the side of RUE. Their approach was very clean up till the walls trying, the Hibana Curious player trying to take on the window up, take on the doorway upon towards mezzanine. There was still, of course, a couple of do's and don'ts here and there from both sides, but that was a really good approach coming in from the side of RUE. Electric able to take down the entry pick. Then we saw Tony trying to swing by. Benam was on the street trying to do his level best. But compared to what we have seen in their attacking play in the previous map, this was a much clean, I would say, an attacking strat coming up from the side of RUE. Yes, in the end it was a 3v4. Yes, even though having the mad advantage, they were not able to take this round to their side, and that is something where Hasib Warriors have definitely shined apart, definitely outplayed their opponent team, whether it's RUE, whether it's Andromeda, whether it's anybody, won't stop peaking. If we talk about yesterday's game, they have definitely performed in terms of that individual performance, as well in terms of one guy just making sure that he is going to be the dependable guy in taking those frags when it's outmost, like almost needed for the team to stay alive in that round and stay almost kicking on the face of the opponents. And that is the part where I have, many times after repeated the same words, and many times after I have appraised the set of Hasib Warriors. The adaptation game, the individual gunfight capability, these are all of the traits which kind of like makes Hasib Warriors the kind of like the team that you need from a region to, of course, it's still a long road ahead to approach and play and represent our region in the APAC Cup Asia qualifier, which is the upcoming next month, folks. But still, it's going to be a long way, folks. They still have to play the finale, which is still the map number 2. RUE still has the capability to take map number 2 on their side. But at this point, look at the side of ours. Just try to play on the display room. Does get the audio drop over there. One of the guys trying to drop down, just going in towards his left-hand side. Might be a run out. I don't know. I know they're not silly enough to open up a castle wall, then you with the sound to then go for a run out. But there you have it. Taha. Electric just gets a little bit overexcited, though. That is a very risky angle to peek, whether you are having the best time in the world. Electric gets taken off from the side of Taha. The Mira's SMG so good. Oh, wall bang from Sheikh. Taha goes down. I kind of just understood a little bit. But at this point of time, look at that. These long angled approach from both sides through the R6 room is definitely looking very decent for both sides.
Hive activated.
And it's also the pick that they actually got, because that was the Finka gone and Baz doing the double peek on this window here outside the display room. Beautifully done. Zedex does go down on the other side as shots are fired. Never mind. Tony's actually taking damage from the barbed wire right there. But the Fender Zedex, I believe, was actually trying to kind of aggress on someone in that FNAT as Tony now solo on health. And there we go. Fathar's going to get that easy kill. Sekip finds Baz on the other side. That's finally Baz down. But how much have they lost on the other side? Fathar's still alive, and Hasib, he's going to come up to the second floor. He's going to get the shotgun kill, and he's got it out once again, but triple kill to Sekip, as he is now potentially on a 1v2. All he has to do is find this bandit. Fathar just needs to stay alive. He's going to see the body. There we go. The pixels available to him. The visuals given away, and he will take the kill happily so. As that, folks, is going to be another round going to the side of Hasib Warriors. A little bit closer than they wanted to for sure. But the fact that they managed to keep the action away from the site, all on top floor, pretty much self-contained to that part of the map, certainly says a lot about the fact that they were able to kind of take RUE for a ride in that round.
I mean, this round was over in what, 52, I guess 1 minute 10 seconds at max. So you just taking out your entire team, opponent team in what, 1 minute and 10 seconds is something that tells, again, a lot about the side of RUE as well, a lot about the side of Hasib Warriors as well. But gotta get credit to the side of Electric. He has been an absolute gut-wrenching, just making sure that he's right off biting it in the backside of Hasib Warriors. He's just trying to be one of the nuances, one of the biggest bowlers up against the side of Hasib Warriors. Yes, he still needs the support from his teammate to kind of like, have someone, looking out for the crossfire, looking out to get those traits. But Electric is definitely the guy to keep an eye out in this particular map. He has been, getting the 3K in this one. In round number 1, he was able to get another 3K. So back to back, able to get those frags is something which is going to put him up in the right kind of a momentum and put him in the right kind of like a driving seat that he needs to be. Apart from that, yes, he still needs the support coming from his teammate, which is definitely going to be the case that he's definitely getting all of the coordination. But it seems like when it comes down to coordination part and in-game chemistry, Hasib Warriors have been the pinnacle of these true traits throughout the entire competition. But for now, folks, as the side goes on for the first floor, which is, again, as we have talked about it moments earlier, it is one of the hardest sides to defend on, because whether it's the second floor vertical play, whether it's the basement floor vertical play, it is still a very hard side to defend for the side of Hasib Warriors. Whether it's the master room, whether it's the 6th room, whether it's whether it's the armory side, whether it's the CCTV and the bunk side, it is still a very hard room for the side of defenders to make sure the attackers are getting stopped on.
Drones are out. And of course, we have ourselves that moment of calm right now. Looks like Hasib Warriors have decided to rein themselves in excuse me right there, as they are playing pretty safe so far. Big asterisk mark on that, because at the end of the day, they can turn it up in pretty much a heartbeat right there, as we have ZDux going for the peaks, and that's going to be the first kill. Just as I said it, they heard the entry coming in from Venom, and that's going to be the Grim taken care of. Massive drop right there, because the Grim has always been so oppressive in the right situation, but second gets the refrag, and that's going to be ZDux down. 1 for 1, beautifully done so, but Tony taking damage because someone just came down yellow stairs and wanted to go for a little bit of a peek. The heal will be there from the Finka, thankfully so for them, but Taha is still around, he's still active, and that's kind of gonna play in the back of RUE's head that there is somebody who's running around above who could be a massive problem for us if we don't deal with them. There you have the shots that are fired because I've seen the vertical angle, but Fathar comes around, makes use of that distraction, gets one. Cryptic Fate getting taken to the floor as the shots have been fired, and now it is all just one by one falling apart. Hasib comes around the long hallway, gets one. Fathar from the other side. And it really was just a case of, hey, we'll take this one. Okay, I'll take this one, and then I will take the rest. That was Hasib Warriors taking each kill one by one, pretty much getting them all caught in laundry, especially 3 of them, like fish in a barrel. And that, folks, is going to make it 4-1 going into round number 6. Hasib Warriors, this defense half, I'll tell you what, Bullet, they are looking good.
They're looking good. They're looking very, spiked up on the energy levels as well. On the way the movements are looking, on the way how they're able to anticipate all of the approach coming out from the side of RUE, especially in those early counters and the early engagement, is something, something that I want to see from the side of RUE, but on the right side it's happening from the Hasib Warriors. But on the other side, if you talk about the frags coming in, Benam still has to make his opening frag. Cryptic on first kill, yet Tony is on 3k, Electric with 5, Shake with 5. The point what I'm trying to make is that look at the frag numbers on the other side. It is not there that's going to be a huge difference. It's not something that, even in the very first 6 rounds, it is someone from the side of Hasib Warriors getting back-to-back clutches or aces or getting back-to-back, frags, which is kind of like destroying the entire side of RUE. This is more about the frag number almost being the same. Yes, other guys like, Hasib, Zedis, Fathar on the 5-5-5, which of course is a huge difference. But in terms of the individual play, which is what I'm trying to make a point of here, in terms of the individual play, that is Hasib Warriors making sure that they are winning those rounds, and that is not exactly happening from the side of RUE. I know this is a team game. I know strategies are made to get destroyed by opponent team. Strategies are made for you to also dominate onto this particular map and other maps as well. But also comes on the fact that when it's the individuals players' moment to shine, even at least get 3k or 2k when it's almost at the utmost needed, that is the point where RUE is lacking very, very big time. But for the moment, we do see the Master in R6 room getting picked up from the side of Hasib Warriors. I guess there's going to be nobody, actually just one guy, that is going to be the side of Taha, trying to play on the first floor armory, trying to go in for the flank, but the Nomad's going to just take care of that on the side of the Sky Bridge. The air jab has been placed up, but she can still approach from the R6 room stairs, which is why RUE needs to make sure to, take down the side of Taha as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Taha is kind of the target kill right now, as shots have been fired. Hasib getting a little bit too antsy right there. C4's going to go out. Will that find anybody? No, it doesn't, but Taha does find Tony on the other side. Beautiful kill right there to take the Brava down. Flashbang's going out. ZDux finds Sakib, and that's 2 off the board before the side of RUE are able to take full control of the Z hallway right here. That's unfortunate for them because they really need this to go their way, and it just hasn't. With Electric, oh dear me, I just take a second to let my throat rest for a minute, but no, they are not going to stop. Electric goes down, there goes Venom. Hasib with the shots fired. He tries to take out the shotgun, gets taken down while doing so, but it's all up to Cryptic Fate, the last one standing. Pretty much the only one with, anything left to do here, because the rest of the defenders, they are hungry. They want this kill. As Taha goes down, C4's up, but it was thrown too far, and oh dear me, the team kill. That certainly wasn't unintentional. Taha will fall. and so will Fatar, leaving Baz and Zedux in the 2v1. Now this has gotten a little bit dicey because that is certainly going to lead to some comms getting just hijacked for a moment to yell at each other, as is practice when you accidentally team kill your opponent. But here we have, once again, a little calm before the storm. There's only so much that the Sibana can do, and there you go.
Nice.
Zedux, knowing full well that Cryptic Fate is pretty much trapped. There's these Denari trip connectors at head level as well, so best case scenario, you get away by crashing towards the door, but they know you're going to be there if those connectors don't get, well, tripped, right? So with that said, it is 5-1 going to the side of Hasib Warriors. We move now into the second half with Hasib Warriors on the attack and Team RUE on the defense. And of course, that means the bans have to be set in place once again. And we're going to have the Blackbeard and Azami to start us off. I mean, is it any surprise? No, it is not. I was just going to answer that question right here. Blackbeard, about as annoying as he gets. Azami, we've seen time and time again exactly why she is so very good on so many situations. As we just wait for the second bans to come out, and we will be properly into round number 7, folks. Don't you worry. It is Ace and Fenrir to get taken down. You know what? I actually did think that Fenrir should have been banned a little bit earlier on RUE's attack, because we saw Fenrir get a good bit of utility out on a couple of rounds. Not too much, but enough where I would say it warranted a ban maybe. But still, he's banned here now, and we're going into round number 7.
Definitely, Fenrir would have been banned a little bit earlier in the second set of the bans in the first half. Also, talking about the side of the side of RUE, talking about the side of Hasib Warriors defense, there's also about the fact that they just kind of like stop the entire team in the hallway, just alongside the areas of the objective. There have been very few rounds where RUE was able to actually get inside the objective. Most of the time, the fight was happening in outside the objective. It was just making them stop outside of the entire play denial. Execution was on point, don't get me wrong. For the side of RUE, execution strategies have been on point. They are playing some of the classic and some of the basic stats that they can play along up against a team like this, because if you're going for those advanced strategies, if you're not able to play on the best of your gun game, you're gonna fall like a deck of cards right on your face. Trust me at this one. But also talking about the side of Hasib Warriors defensive play, yes, there have been a couple of lapses where, again, the same way which was in the side of map number 1, that RUE had their chances to literally brute force their way inside the objective of the Hasib Warriors. But for now, folks, we do see the rest coming in. Taha ain't gonna stop. No more trap in the play, and that's gonna be the last shot. Is gonna be the side Toxic Babe. Taha gets the first pick on Tony. There you have it. Toxic Babe's getting deployed right from on the corner. Possibly the second one. I'm not really sure about, but Fatar is trying to push from the southern end as well. But that's gonna be a TK. Panam goes down. Electric gets the pick on Hasib, making it a 3v4. Vaz is on the glass, but still waiting in for someone to come in the hallway. Possibly that, I guess Electric is playing upon the blue stairs hallway. Yeah, he is. But right now they have to be a little bit more careful on how they're going to deploy the smokes and also get inside the site.
A little bit of a very, very fast attempt at getting into sight there from Hasib Warriors, and Dal certainly got good dividend out of it. Tony Plays and Venom being the ones to go down, and they've got the breach taken care of as well, because the bat is gone, and oh dear me, Cryptic! I'm not exactly sure what the thought process was behind that, as we're gonna have shots fired down the hallway. Zedux will find Electric. It is now down to that last player, all down to second, who's got the down on one. Dal's on the floor, but Baz will come in and shut him down. It was the Warden versus the Glass, the battle of the smart lenses, and the one to win was the Glass. That is going to be Hasib Warriors taking it 6-1 up. And folks, we are now going into match and series point right here as Team RUE. Oh dear me, there was some hope maybe that when they go on the defense on a map like on Lair, excuse me, I almost called it the wrong map, but there was some hope that maybe when they go on the defense on a defender side of map like this, they could pull a couple of rounds out, but it's looking dire by the second. They're going back to second floor master office in our 6 room, but with the 6-1, their chances, they are about as slim as they can get.
I like optimistic thought process of blackjack every time when we are on the desk. When there's one team struggling to get 2-3 rounds on this. I know, folks. Trust me. I am not the guy on the desk, especially when it comes to a siege text. You might have seen me in the titles. Being so much optimistic when it comes to siege. Don't get me wrong, folks. I like to, just put it right up on the face. Right now, I don't see this swinging in to the side of RUE. Don't get me wrong, folks. Until unless Hasib Warriors don't drone, until unless Hasib Warriors sleeps their way inside the attacking play, I don't see this going to the side of RUE. It is still a very, very dicey situation. Not what a dicey, very, very out of the hand situation for the side of RUE. IQ and everybody getting picked up. The Glad is gonna be ditched for this attack, but I love how Sirius was able to
Oh dear.
electric the stuff. Run out, Basket's taken out. Whoa! There you have it. Over the aggression, right on point, and getting the results of this same. This is the right momentum that needs to come up. That needs to be there from the side of RUE. And we do have one of the important ones, Boaz, who has been one of the heavy hitters from the side of Hasib Warriors. But before I say that, I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit too soon. Hasib will be able to take down the side of Benam. The C4 was still not being utilized though, but they still have, a C4 from Tony and Straight left, and they have to play it at the right time when it's absolutely needed. We do have everybody taking care of the storage room hallway and try to get inside the R6 room. Thermal exothermic charges have been laid out inside the storage area. It's gonna give them the angle approach that they need, and they just want to close it out as soon as possible. But I guess the pick on Shake. We do have the toxic base flying in at the same angle. Then you have a C taking out Electric on the first floor. Fatas take care of Cryptic. Now it's gonna be all down to Tony in a 1v4 spot. Possibly can be done. Everybody slow, low on HP. First C4 gets popped in. Zeta goes down. Hasib does have that one single EDD scan remaining. It possibly the right time to throw it out? Yes, it is in my opinion though. But both Fatar and Hasib are so down to like what, 2 HP or 5 HP? I'm not exactly sure, but we all know.
Oh no.
Let's get it taken out. What? Why are you running like that? Oh my god, this is such a doable spot for the side of Tony to make this clutch happening from his side. Diffuser getting planted, grenades getting tossed out on the hallway to stop the entire push. Not gonna happen. Hasib goes out for the final kill with the DMR. The scoreline is 7-1 on map 2. And yes, it is the side of Hasib Warriors to win it out with a 2-0 map score.
What a statement right there from the side of Hasib Warrior. 7-1 in map number 2. They certainly have a good reason to say that this map, which is of course Lair, is one of their, well, for lack of a better term, layers, right? I think we can add Border and Lair to pretty much like the top of their repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, tomorrow's final between them and Team Uwu, while a classic final, is certainly going to have a lot of very interesting map bans and map picks. I will say so myself. But boy howdy, what a match we've had, and what a night we've had as well. Lots of words have been said, lots of talk being thrown around, and I'm sure that will continue even after the match is done. But here on the desk, what we acknowledge is what happened in the game, and what happened in the game was a 7-1 and a 2-0 close for Hasib Warriors. They will join Team Uwu in the grand finals, best of 5 for tomorrow, but most importantly, they will join Team Uwu, and the two of them together will be playing in the APAC Cup Asia qualifiers, folks. This time, yet again, South Asia has its representatives, and we certainly hope they make it to a very, very long distance. But, we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. We're talking about the big picture too much. We have Madness back here once again as our dear analyst, and we will be breaking down the game a little bit before we end things off here for the night. So, Madness, you saw what happened in Map 1. You and I were there. And now Map 2, we saw, well, pretty much a lot of what went down, more so a domination, if I would say, of course. But tell us, what do you think from Hasib Warriors? What can we expect from them tomorrow based on what we saw tonight?
Oh yeah, if we're talking about tomorrow's, what we expect from them, I expect them to put on a good performance, but I think Uwu going to put up much more of a competition than RUE did today. Because like you're talking about map 1, still a bit contestable. We ended on a 7-4 line, but this this is just a one-sided domination where Sea Warriors take it 7-1. There's a reason that they keep on picking this map. There's a reason that they are so dominant right now, and they have pretty much gone against what they were pushed down in the lower bracket because of. Now got the revenge, got that against them. There are a lot of words exchanged between both teams as well. If you were anyone's paying attention to the in-game chat on your season, I know we're not going to talk about that much, but a lot of words were said over there. They were talking about how it was nice for them, but it's just not talk, right? They walk the walk as well. They put in the dominating performance that we were kind of expecting from them, and they did put RUE in their place. They did secure their spot as well, and I think tomorrow's matchup, it's a best of 5 at the end of the day. That's going to be a banger of a series to watch out for, and I'm expecting it might even go all 5 massive. Both teams honestly show up when the matter counts over there.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to the play happening in from the side of RUE, don't get me wrong, I feel the attacking play on the layer was pretty on point. Yes, the entire lapse was happening on the gun game part. The strategies, the utilization of all of the primary and the secondary gadgets, I gotta give the credit to the side of RUE. Their attacking play was much cleaner from what we saw in their defensive play on the second map. But for the side of Sea Warriors, I know ultimately it comes down to the gun game, as we do speak about Siege being so much of strategical approach. But in the end, if you're not able to win the gunfights, there's so much of what these utilities and strats can actually do. So yeah, it was all about the gun game being too strong from side of Sea Warriors, in my opinion, Blackjack.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I mean, especially in those last 2 attack rounds, they were taking bodies like they were pretty much like a kid in a candy store, right? Picking it out one by one. I'm running out of metaphors to use about it at this point because it's like, the thing is, right, on the defense, there were a few rounds where they had kind of a few shaky moments, right? They lost a few bodies, they lost their gunfights. The switch over to attack, and then suddenly the Blitz is out, the Lion's out, and it is just completely done and dusted in 2 rounds at that. And yeah, no, there's really not much else to say other than that. That's kind of the downside of having a one-sided domination map here, folks, on a game as big as the lower bracket finals for the South Asia Elite Community Series, because it doesn't really leave us with much to talk about at the end of the day. We're pretty much just waiting for the stats screen to kind of talk about the numbers and then hype up tomorrow's match before we sign off for the night. But hey, you know, such is the nature of production. And so, yeah, we're just going to be here. We're going to be talking to all of you, for those who are left, of course, because I know a lot of you are probably here for the game. And now that the game's done, well, the stream's done for a lot of viewers as well. But that aside, I will kind of put this out there. RUE will certainly want to challenge Hasib Warriors on Lair. I 100% see them picking it just for the heck of it, saying, you know what, you guys play Lair so much, we've had the time to see you on 2 back-to-back streams on this map. Bring it on. We're going to take this map and we're going to take it against you, and we're going to win regardless. They love challenges like that, Team RUE, and they are certainly going to be looking for it tomorrow. And who knows, Border, Nighthaven Labs, they're all up for grabs here. As that, I'll tell you what, I'm already so very hyped. It's kind of making me stumble over my words as well. But there is only so much I can still say about Lair, right? And even about Clubhouse, because we talked about it at length before this map began and at the end of the previous map, where it's like, there's not much that really happened other than a couple of interesting decisions to kind of play top floor roam from Hasib Warriors when it came to the the Mute and the Castle pick, because that's a strategy we've seen, or variations of that strategy we've seen for years at this point, ever since the days of SSG at SI, right? So I like that they bring it out. I like that these old strats have kind of been modified for the current times. And I like the inclusion of Solus in some of them, especially after her buffs. But you know what? We have, of course, the stat sheets to talk about as well. And on the side of Hasib Warriors, it is looking clean, 80% plus for the entire roster. 3 of them are 87%. 3-2 to Taha, who had the lowest kill percentage, but overall the most presence, because he got 3 of his 4 kills are just entry kills right there. So that should tell you a lot about how impactful he was in the overall scheme of things. Of course, Zedux and Baz having 7 each, really bringing it home for the rest of the team. Hasib at 8-4, and Fatar once again leading the charge at 9-4. Overall, presence on the map, I have to give it to Hasib Warriors. Whereas on the side of Team RUE, well, it is unfortunately a RUE full scorecard, especially for someone like Benham going 0-7 and 53%. Not exactly sure what happened between maps, but Benham really was not able to kind of get much of anything. They did have some utility presence, yes, because they were playing support ops, but at the same time, as Bullet said, as I've said, as Madness has said, as so many people have said before, even in a game like Siege, which is so utility based, you need to win your gunfights, and unfortunately, that really just didn't happen, did it, Madness?
It did not. It did not. The mechanics were not coming in. The aim diff was pretty evident. It's been a long time since I've seen someone being 0 kills in a map as well. But unfortunately for Venom, he's going to be verified. But we're taking a look at the overall scenario coming into today's, best of 3. That we only went to 2 maps. Fathar, the man of the hour, especially map 1. This man was phenomenal. 20 kills to just 11 deaths. Even Baz almost matching it up with the 19 kills to 9 deaths as well. The ratings are phenomenal for them. Unfortunately for the side of RUE, nobody has crossed that 1 rating as well. They've all been looking down. They all have the negative KD on their side. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't step out. A lot of that is also just due to map number 2, right, where the 7-1 leads to a lot of them getting negative factors in their overall score as well. Because map 1, even though it looked very like a tight affair, it looked like it might be a 7-2, at least went to 7-4, but map number 2, holy moly, 7-1 is something. Germany Brazil comes into mind when you see something like this, and oh boy, Sea Warriors today, they had something lit underneath them, guys. They were coming in with a vengeance, especially evident by what was being talked about in the in-game chat over here, Bullet.
Yeah. When it comes down to the in-game chat, I have only one thing to say. It happens, and it is, say, the part and parcel of a competitive tournament, whether it's any other title, when it comes down to the esports competition, and Blackjack knows better. Everybody knows it better. But looking at the bracket, there you have it, folks. Tomorrow from 4:45 p.m., it is going to be. I know it is it's going to be a kind of like, how would I put it? How Intero likes to put it, the championship Sunday, but it's more of like whoever bags the victory on the auspicious day of the Dhanteras that we have today here in our region, as the Diwali is on the 20th. It's either going to be the side of RUE, either it's going to be the side of Hasib Warriors, but the better and the bigger picture is that both the teams are going to represent us, our region, in the biggest stage, which is going to be the Asia Cup qualifiers. But they still have to fight for the lion's share of the prize pool.
Absolutely. The lion's share of that prize pool. Who will walk away with the 1 lakh INR? We will find out. And who, of course, will still walk away with 60,000, which is still no small amount of money. Let's be very real with ourselves right now. But with that said, folks, that is going to do it here tonight for the lower bracket finals and for Team RUE's tournament run. And for them, the Steel Ball Run race has... Wait a minute, that's the wrong franchise. The tournament run has ended. With that said, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to the South Asia Elite Community Series for Rainbow Six Siege X here at Fragnation in partnership with Ubisoft. We've been your hosts, Blackjack, Bullet, and Madness, and we will see you, all of you, back tomorrow for Grand Final Sunday, the best of 5. Stay tuned, and good night.
You made a bad bet. Play the odds and risk it all. But you're playing my game now. And I'm here to clean house.